Hello, welcome today to the podcast. I want to talk about anger, like the energy of anger. There's so much anger right now in the world. Everybody's angry, everyone's going off their face. You might have noticed that you're feeling angry, and this is for two reasons. So, the first reason is that there is literally a lot of anger in the world. People are angry about lots of things. Over the last few years, people become quite militant, and people are fighting with each other a lot, and then there's fights between countries, and you're picking all that up. So you're picking that up on the news or when people are talking or on the internet. There's all that anger coming at you energetically that you might be absorbing, and then there's also the anger that you might have in yourself, so it's triggering your own anger, and also that anger that you might want to be letting go of. So I've noticed that everyone's really getting angry lately, and it's really strong. It's not like I'm just a little bit angry. It's like I'm massively angry. It's coming up like a volcano. Energetically, it's because the body's releasing the anger on some level and or experiencing it. And I want you to notice and think about the differences for you. Is this your anger or is it their anger? Is this me trying to let it go and it has to come out some way? So I'm going to go crazy when I break my vase, when normally I would just go, oh, well, there you go. It's important that you release the anger, but it's not important that you have the anger all the time because it's really poisonous to the body. Energetically, anger is probably one of the worst emotions. I think fear is the other one, which is comparable, but anger has a very inflammatory condition in the body, and that's why I want you to do some work now on a spiritual level of doing some work on letting go of the anger, releasing it, letting it go, write it out. You can do your tapping, you can meditate, you can do rebirths, whatever, breath work, whatever works for you to let it go. I think it's really important not to carry it, because even though it might be valid and rightful at the time, because it could be even a justice issue that you're angry about, if you carry that and it resides in the aura, it messes with the energy so badly, and it's kind of got like a big red look. Whenever I look at people's aura and they're really angry or this inflammation, it's always big and it's always red. It also will explain to you why some things might get worse in your body. So if you have inflammation, it gets worse. You have more headaches coming from anger. You have more backache coming from anger. So you're better off getting rid of it. When I'm talking about anger, I talk about a few angers. Remember, there's rage, anger. Those two are fairly big. And then there's resentment. And then there's hate. And then I think too, frustration is a kind of form of anger. So there's like 5 of them. So if you want to do your work to see if you can release all of them. Resentment is like smouldering anger. That's the best way I can describe it. Just smoulders away there. And it's usually to do with the past, and you can't have trouble letting it go. Also look at the grudges that you might be carrying, because that comes into that anger component. It's okay to be a little bit angry and then let it go. I suppose it's even sometimes you'll get really angry, but you have to let it go because it festers in the body. And I think it's the undercurrent of many diseases that can take us out. If you have high blood pressure, getting angry is not going to help. And I feel too, it messes with our immune system when we're too angry. It sort of like dampens it down. You'll find there's a lot of people around you who are angry too. I've noticed that. Even today, I've done 2 lots of anger and it's only lunchtime. They weren't my anger, they were 2 other people. And I just sent them healing to release it. I went away and just did some healing on to release the anger, to calm them down. However, I had to be careful I don't absorb it, because I was on the phone with one and I was actually in the other one's presence. Therefore, I can absorb that anger as well and sponge it in. Make sure you don't absorb the anger, and that's why you want to release it. So you've been in an angry situation with someone screaming, yelling and throwing things. Later on, just sit down, do a quick meditation and release any anger that I've picked up from them, because it's such a negative energy. I can't express how much it is a negative energy. People also like anger to hold on to it. It gives them a reason to treat people badly and to justify why they're doing it. It also holds them in that pattern of unforgiveness. You cannot forgive somebody when you are angry with them. You can say you did it, but you won't really do it. And the same goes for the hurt, but that's another whole area. If they've hurt you a lot and you haven't let it go, you can't forgive them. So work on letting go of the anger for the variety of reasons I've spoken about. You might know where you put it. When I've been doing some work lately, because I'm kind of interested in this stuff, obviously, it's usually in the throat, People usually put it there in the throat. Not everyone, but a lot of people in the throat, and they put it at the back of their head, so they don't get a headache or neck ache. So the two main, and they can also put in the solar plexus. I've seen hate as well, and anger in the heart, and they're usually very hateful, negative people when they talk about other people. The anger resides in these kind of places. And of course you can put it in your leg and your hip and your knee. I know all that. I'm just telling you where I find it with the chakras. I mostly find it with most people in the throat chakra. So that might be a good place for you to do some healing on yourself or to release it from there. And I think that's because that's where we yell it or scream it. It's coming from the throat. Anger is not an energy that makes you powerful. However, people feel it makes them powerful. And that's one of the reasons they won't let it go. I think it destabilizes the aura, drains it, makes you sick, and actually is really a poison, like a poison. However, they think it makes them strong and makes them powerful and is a good thing. And that's why they will continue to lash out and be angry at people and hold on to it. They just will hold on to it like decades. They're still angry when their brother did something or the guy at work said something to them. They haven't let it go. The reason I'm talking about this is to explain to you why people hold on to it, because they think because it's a strong emotion that'll be good for the body, make me stronger, and I'll be more powerful because I'll be more aggressive. But you're actually less energetically strong. That's the difference. It eats away at you, basically. The anger will eat away at you. And you can hear by little sayings that people say, he's got shit on the liver, which is basically, that's where people hold anger. That's a Chinese view of it, that we hold the anger in the liver and in the gallbladder area. So you might want to have a look at those as well. I found recently it's been a lot worse. A lot more outbursts, a lot of families near having fights and threatening with legal action and people not talking to each other, and it's just been getting worse and worse. So don't buy into it. Observe it. If you have to have your own anger, let it go. If you pick up someone else's anger, let it go, because it'll affect your aura in a negative way, and the longer you hold the anger, the more it affects the aura. So you want to get rid of it. And a lot of the anger might come from the childhood, so don't forget about that. Like when you were a little kid, maybe you had a really difficult upbringing, and so you want to let go of all the anger. You'll feel so much better, and it's really nice. Like if I go and do all my 3 modalities, I go off and do them, then afterwards it's really lovely, because I don't feel angry with that person or about the situation. It's like really calm, and I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. I don't feel much about it. It's like the feeling goes, and it's so liberating. I found it really liberating, because anger gets on a loop as well, and it'll keep you awake at night. I said that, and I would have said that, and if they said that, I should have said that, and you get like that. So you get crazy, can't go to sleep. But if you sit down and do your modalities and get rid of the anger, then you don't have it. It's like it's done. It also karmically is good to let go of the anger, because the anger will karmically keep you attached to that person energetically. So if you're still angry with your ex or angry with some other people that you're not seeing anymore, you're still attached to them. That emotion keeps you attached. If you think about your friend and you still feel angry, you need to let that go, because you're still keeping the attachment there. And also, you can never heal a relationship while there's residual anger. It always pops up You know, you can fake it for a while, but it kind of pops up. I hope you've enjoyed listening to my Angry Ant. She would call it the Angry Ant podcast. However, it is a big thing and it's very unhealthy. And that's why I wanted to do it energetically, because a lot of people think it's great to be angry and aggressive. And that's been purported more and more, to stand up for yourself and be angry and scream at people and be mean to them like it's a good thing. But it's actually a really bad thing for you and also for the person on the receiving end. And it cuts very close to abuse. Enjoy your unangry week. And I hope you have some harmony, and I hope doing your modalities helps you feel more calm. Sending you lots of love and lots of light.